Hello students, welcome back. This is the video lecture for class 6 science, chapter number 12, electricity and circuits. It is lecture number 1. In this video lecture, we will be performing some of the pre-text activities. Topics to be covered: electric current and its effect. Students, here we will be performing three activities. Let's start with activity 1. Aim of the activity: to show that cells are the source of electricity in a torch. Materials required: for this activity, we just need a functional torch, a torch which operates with the help of cells. Procedure or the steps. Number 1, take a torch. Number 2, switch it on. Number 3, observe that it glows. Students, you can see there is a torch. The bulb of the torch is glowing. Here, the switch is on, same as represented down in this diagram. The bulb is glowing. One important thing to note here is that there are two cells. You can observe carefully. The cells are inside the torch. When the switch is on, the bulb is glowing. Moving on to step number 4. Switch it off. Number 5. Unscrew the cap from the end and remove the cells. Step number 6. Switch it on again. As directed, we will take out the cells from the torch and will place them aside. You can see in this picture. When we will switch it on again, the bulb of the torch will not glow. Does it glow now? No, we just saw the torch is not glowing even if we on the switch after removing the cells. What makes the torch glow? Observation. We notice that the torch will not glow when the cells were removed. Conclusion. A torch gets its energy from a source known as cell. Activity 2. Aim. Make your own switch. M- Materials required. Number 1, a cell. Number 2, 3 pieces of copper wire. Number 3, a bulb. Number 4, a big safety pin. Number 5, drawing pins. And number 6, a wooden board. Procedure. Number 1, on the wooden board, fix 2 drawing pins away from each other at a distance less than the length of the safety pin. Students, you can have a look here. On this wooden board, we have fixed 2 drawing pins. They are at a distance which is less than the length of this safety pin. Number 2, to one end of a copper wire, connect a bulb. Number 3, to the end of the other copper wire, join the positive terminal of the cell. Students, if you can look carefully here in this diagram, we have already fixed 2 drawing pins and 1 big safety pin. Now, as per step number 2, we have connected the one end of this copper wire with bulb and with a cell. Moving on to step number 4. Join the third wire to the other terminal of the bulb on one end and the negative terminal of the cell on the other end. Number 5. Now attach the safety pin to one of the drawing pins, keeping its other end free. As per the direction, this is how we need to fit the safety pin in between the 2 drawing pins. It is mentioned here that a switch is in on position if the safety pin is connected to both the drawing pins. Observation. When we allow the free end of the safety pin to touch the drawing pin, the bulb glows. But when we leave it loose, the bulb does not glow. Conclusion. Current flows when the circuit is complete. A switch helps to control the flow of current by breaking or closing the circuit. Students, the safety pin in this experiment was playing the role of switch. When the safety pin was connected properly with 2 drawing pins, the circuit was complete and we observed the bulb was glowing, whereas when the safety pin was kept loose, the bulb was not glowing because in that case the circuit was incomplete. Let's move on to activity 3. Aim to find out which of the materials conduct electricity. Materials required. Number 1, two metallic clips. Number 2, a bulb. We can also take a small torch bulb. Number 3, a cell or a battery. Number 4, connecting wires. Number 5, some common household items like coin, stone, cotton, etc. Procedure. Number 1, make a simple tester first. Number 2, attach wires to two metallic paper clips. These acts as probes of your tester. Number 3, connect the probes to a bulb and a battery through wires as shown in the figure. Students, this is the circuit diagram where we have connected cell, bulb with connecting wires, and the two metallic pins are also a part of this circuit. These metallic pins or clips are acting as the probes. Number 4, bring the free ends of the two wires close to let them touch each other. Does the bulb light up? Yes. Let's check again. With the help of the circuit diagram, we can see that the cell and bulb are connected with the help of connecting wires, and the two metallic clips are also joined, resulting in the completion of a circuit. And now the charge can flow through the connecting wires, and we all can observe that this results in glowing of the bulb. Number 5. Now place both the probes on two ends of common household objects such as metal spoon. You can also take the spoon of steel that we use in our kitchen or while eating. A key, a coin, an eraser, a crayon, a stone, a plastic comb, a piece of aluminium foil, an iron nail, a wooden pencil, etc. And observe the result. Students, the same setup which was represented in the form of circuit diagram is to be used here. Once again, this is the cell, a bulb, and the connecting wires with two metallic clips. Here, in first case, an iron nail is placed in between the two clips. We all can observe that the bulb is glowing. It means that iron nail allows electricity to pass through it. Now let's have a look at the second case. Here, once again, we have a cell, a bulb, and the two metallic clips. Here, in between the metallic clips, a wooden pencil is kept. We can observe that the bulb is not glowing. The wooden pencil does not allow electricity to pass through it. Let us now record our observations in table. Here we have made two columns. In first one, we have mentioned the names of the objects, whereas in the second, we have noted whether the bulb glows, yes or no. Let's start with object number 1, an iron nail. We'll observe that the bulb glows. Number 2, a wooden pencil. The bulb will not glow. Number 3, a stone. Bulb again does not glow. Number 4, a coin. In this case, the bulb will glow. Number 5, a key. Here we can take an iron key. Yes, the bulb glows. Number 6, a crayon. The bulb does not glow. Number 7, a plastic comb. Again, the bulb does not glow. Students, let me tell you that these materials or objects are not just the objects which you all should take. You can take any object which is available at your home as per your convenience. Observation. When the object allows electricity to pass through it, the bulb glows. When the object does not allow electricity to pass through it, the bulb does not glow. Conclusion. If the bulb glows, the material being tested conducts electricity and is called conductor. And if it does not, the material does not conduct electricity and is called insulators. So, conductors are the materials which allow the electricity to pass through them, and the bulb glows when the electricity passes through them. For example, iron nail, steel spoon, metallic coin, etc. Whereas insulators are the materials which do not allow the electricity to pass through them. In this case, the bulb will not glow. For example, a stone, a sponge, wooden pencil, etc. That's all for this video lecture. I'll encourage you all to perform these activities at your home. Thank you.